All right, Mr. Matt.
Hey, how are you?
According to the screen, it says we're live.
Sweet.
We're live. How you doing, man?
I'm good. It's the end of the year. I'm taking tomorrow off, I think. Hopefully,
What?
maybe we'll see.
You can't take a day off. It's cybersecurity. Somebody somewhere is getting hacked.
I got people working, but I might. Our SOC never takes a day off. There's always somebody or something working.
That's true. This is true. So today it's the 30th. Tomorrow's New Year's Eve.
Yep.
We're heading into 25, and it's like I see all these things that are coming out. You know, you get all the stuff like the past couple of days, 2025 trends and 2025, and I think to myself like, well, tomorrow's the last day of the month, and then the day after that is the first day of the year, so it's 2025. But it's not like isn't like something changed from one day to the other.
No,
just because it's 2025. So there's trends that are happening right now.
Yeah,
and those same trends are going to be the trends that are going to be. Yes, they're the 2025 trends, but they already started.
Right. Yeah, they started.
What do you think? I know you and I talked about a list of like 5. What do you think of? What do you think is top of the list? The trend that's already begun. That's going to be a big one for the next 12 months.
I think one of the biggest ones that we've seen, not just in attacking but defending, AI using artificial intelligence and machine learning. We use it a lot defending. So we're able to build our own models and really look at logs and find things faster. But threat actors are they're using it to build better phishing emails and better attacks and better ways of getting into your systems, which I don't know if you remember the phishing emails of the past where they would be like everything would be spelled wrong and there'd be really weird graphics. But nowadays the emails are looking better. They're going the right people in the companies, and people are still getting phished every single day.
They're so hard to detect.
Yeah.
They're getting harder and harder. I think that when you say they're getting better, I think is it what you mean that they're getting more
sophisticated?
Yeah, sophisticated. They're getting more advanced, and it's not necessarily. People are saying now it's a 2025 that the big trend is AI. I mean, it's been you and I have been talking about it for a while, but it is. It's important to realize that it impacts your business like tremendously. And so if you don't do something like a know before, like you were just talking about emails being harder to detect, if you don't put like a know before in place, like where you're doing simulated phishing emails and training, if you got buy before and you're operating on this belief, hold on, I got to get my banners here. This is the best one. Where's the one it's not going to happen to me? I don't know. We'll go with this. We'll go with this one. Nobody's too small. No. All these false beliefs, which we talk about every time we get on here, it's like you may have been lucky thus far, but you're not going to be lucky forever, and that's a big one. AI and how different and how advanced and sophisticated things are getting. You are not going to be able to detect these emails. They're going to get you. They're going to get your money, right?
No, they're looking better. They're sounding better. Better graphics. They're really looking like an email that actually comes from your vendor or an organization nowadays, and they're able to hide the code so much better.
It's funny. I was talking to you. I think the past few times we've been live, I mentioned to you about a client that we have that still hasn't signed.
Really?
Off on these, and they had a breach. Remember they had a breach last week? Hold on a sec. Could you answer this and just see what he wants? It's the ID guy. Remember you were checking last week their email. So they had a breach. They still haven't signed anything. They're not answering my emails. It's wild, right?
Yeah, it's. I mean, we have clients that we've been trying to sell them for a year now, and they've had 2 breaches, and they paid more in breach work than they just would have put in some monitoring.
And I think in this company's case that it's true that they've over the past couple of years, because this happens every so often, they've probably spent more on remediation and doing the forensics just to see the extent of the damage than they would have had they actually put the stuff in place.
Yep, that sounds about right from this client. I think I looked it up last time, and they had spent just a little bit more in the forensics work than they would have monitoring.
So 2025, I think that clearly one of the biggest trends that's already started, just to summarize, is getting way harder to detect the phishing emails. The phishing emails still are, depending on where you get your study from, over 90% of the breaches start with a phishing email. It's not getting it's not getting any what's the word I'm looking for? Like, you shouldn't put your guard down. It's not like somehow it's getting better. It's getting worse. And if you haven't put something in place, put something in place. You have to. And here's the next one. Use common sense. See that right there? Right there. Use common sense.
And on the flip side of that, with us being defenders, we're using machine learning and artificial intelligence to be able to scan and watch even more things than we could with human eyes. We can throw a 10 billion record system into a machine learning query and get a lot of data out of it really quick. So we're adapting also with using it.
I don't even. It's hard to even say what else is as important as far as that trend. What's number 2 on your list?
I think number 2. This is something that's it's people have been talking about it for the last couple of years. It's going to make a lot of more noise because a lot of the firewall vendors and stuff are really pushing it. Is that zero trust security model, and that's that trust but verify, don't trust anyone, never trust, always verify, strict identity verification. But instead of having VPNs, now we're having laptops with our zero trust software on them that unless the laptop is patched 100%, you have the right user in who's been MFA credentialed, it's not going to let you access the resources that you're allowed to access. The zero trust, while it's kind of have a slow adoption, I think will start being pushed out more and more over the next year and a half.
And it's interesting because zero trust has been
around
forever. About 2 years ago, we were talking about it.
Yep.
And I've read some books and different people just to get different perspectives. And it's funny because it comes down to common sense, and then all of a sudden you put processes and you put some standards behind zero trust, like you were just talking about. But there's a lot of value to the mindset, and the mindset of that, and then coming from a place of zero trust leads to all the tools. It leads to the tools you put in place to do the phishing email simulation and detection. But it goes deep. It goes really deep. We could do probably 2 hours on zero trust if we actually outlined like every single thing that was entailed in it.
Oh yeah.
I hope that the trend is that in 2025 it becomes much more of a mindset where people are being held accountable. For example, insurance companies want to see that you truly have a zero trust model.
Right.
It seems to me that I don't think things really began to change until I noticed about 3 years ago, when insurance companies really started busting people's chops and really started holding people accountable.
Drive the change because in order
the rates started going up.
Rates are going up, or they won't insure you unless you have certain things in place. I mean, you filled out those insurance questionnaires for your clients.
I do them all the time.
Yeah.
And even with those, in this particular company that we keep talking about, they went back to their insurance company and they're like, because I said, well, your insurance company must be asking you to put these things in place. You have a cyber policy. Yes, we do. They come back and they show me something that they got from the insurance company. It wasn't their policy. It wasn't the requirements. It was some report that the insurance company ran. I guess there's some third party for them ran. To see if there's any vulnerabilities.
Yeah, a third party external vulnerability report on one IP address.
It was nothing. It was so. I said to them, guys, this is absolutely useless. This tells you nothing about your cybersecurity posture, and it tells me nothing about what your insurance company is requiring of you. So if you're telling the insurance company you have all these things in place, and you don't have them in place, when you have a breach and you're going to make a claim, what do you think is going to happen? Nothing. You're not going to pay you. You're screwed.
And we have seen that actually. I've seen in the last 6 months a couple of claims get denied because 2 reasons. One, a lot of times now insurance companies will make you sign an affidavit after you've been breached. If they don't have those in place, and if you can't prove it, they'll deny your claim.
Yeah, and as they should. I mean, it's like you go for a life insurance policy. You can't not get a blood test.
Right.
You can't be like, a week from your deathbed and all of a sudden you're going to get insurance policy. They want to know. That's a good one. So zero trust is number 2.
Yep.
3.
Now we're getting into some interesting ones. This one I find interesting because we just had a conversation about this in our office because we're buying a refrigerator for our office, and someone asked if we were getting a smart one. And I was like, no, we're not getting a smart refrigerator for the office. But the expansion of Internet of Things and security threats. Everybody, everything. Your dryer is now connected to the internet. Your refrigerator, washing machines, you name it. People are connecting it to the internet, which also means they're connected to your network, your Nest devices, all that. So, someone's able to find a vulnerability or gain access to, one of those devices. Now they're all over your network, or they're wreaking havoc, or whatever you want to describe it. Threat actors are out there, and every device is vulnerable.
Yeah, I like that. I made it on the fly while you were talking. I love StreamYard.
Yeah, but we had a conversation about a fridge, and I'm like, no, we're a cyber company. We're not getting a smart fridge for the office.
God, think about the ways that, I mean, it's, and it's funny because that's the same thing as zero trust. I mean, we've been talking about Internet of Things for a couple of years.
Yep.
Um,
And it's just expanding. I mean, the amount of things I've seen in the last year. I mean, some of my granddaughter's Christmas toys are like connected to the internet for like just little dolls and stuff.
everything was your pool,
Mm-hmm.
the pool heater,
Yep.
air conditioning, Nest. I mean, really, it's so dangerous. And it's funny. One time, somebody recently said to me, "Are you interested in getting into cybersecurity for personal, like for people's homes?"
Oh, I've been asked that question a lot.
And I'm like, no, because they're not willing to actually, pay rates that would make it worthwhile for us to do it.
Right.
But it's true. Internet of Things is here. It's been here. It's not going away. It goes back to the zero trust mindset, because when you know that every single thing you have is online and everything you have is vulnerable.
Yeah, you need to treat everything.
Walk around pretending it's not the truth, like that you can get breached anytime. It's unbelievable. I had somebody texting me about 2 weeks ago, and I replied back. Actually called them like, "What? These are weird texts you're sending me." And they were like, "I didn't send you any texts." I'm like, "What?" So they took the phone to this Verizon store. Verizon's like, "Yeah, somebody's in your phone," and they're like, "We can't help you. You need to wipe your phone."
Right. That's pretty much the answer to the problem.
Yeah. So that's good. That's Internet of Things is number 3.
Right.
Maybe your fourth. What's the fourth trend going into 20?
The same one going back from the Target days, supply chain security. You can be as secure as you want, but if your vendors are not as secure as you think they are, there's potential, for phishing attacks. How many phishing attacks have you seen from a vendor that's been breached with a threat actor? They sent you, not you, or sent someone in your company an email with an invoice and say, "Hey, we need to get this paid." Someone clicks on the invoice, put their credentials in, and now you're breached.
Yeah, it's so common. That's a super common one. I think we had that happen. That company we were just talking about, wasn't the breach that they had because one of their clients sent them an email.
Yeah, they clicked on it and went clickety clickety.
But it was a legit email that came from a legit person who they themselves, somebody was in their email system, was sending out emails to their address book.
Yep.
And these people looked at it and they're like, "Oh, we trust this person. We know this person." They started clicking on links and everything. But similarly, I've had people with the same situation get invoices from trusted sources, and they pay the invoice, but they don't realize that where it said "make payment to" was a different bank account.
Yes, we've definitely seen those. And what a lot of people don't realize, when you make those bank account payments, once it leaves your account, hits that federal wire.
Yeah.
99% of the time, it's gone.
Yeah. Oh, it's gone.
Yeah.
You're not getting it back.
Yep.
We had it happen once. My bookkeeper actually wired somebody. Yeah, she wired somebody some money, and they got us good. It was like 50 grand.
Yeah. And that goes back to a mindset of cyber. Like, now I'm assuming that if your bookkeeper needs to wire money, she has to contact you first.
After that, I called the bank and said, nobody can wire money without me actually approving it verbally and in writing right. From me personally. But we got it back.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe we had the money back.
That means it must have got delayed somewhere in the federal wire system, and they still had it.
Yep. All right.
We had the $1 million. They got it back, but I think they bullied the bank into getting it back to them. But
grand finale.
Yeah.
What's the last one you have?
One of my favorite new things, because they just broke some encryption, quantum computing, which is apparently here to stay. So quantum computing, is basically threatening most of the encryption protocols we have nowadays. Granted, there are very few quantum computers out there, but it's something that, state actors, such as, ones out to the east, who we won't name, have a great emphasis on, building these and adopting their tactics into what they're doing to try to break into as many things they can break into. If they break the latest encryption model and they can break it every single time, now encryption is worthless.
Yeah, could you make that like 1 or 2 degrees higher? I'm starting to shiver over it. It's freezing. This ties right back to what the topic of where is it? Where is it? Okay, so see, nobody's too small comes back at it a lot, because these things that are running, and you're right, it is a trend, and I think it's just like anything else that's evolving and it's getting better, smarter, faster, more efficient. That's what's happening, and the tools are getting, the systems are getting so advanced that they can move quickly and cast a wider net. Nobody's too small. They don't care if you're a one-person shop.
Right.
We actually have a person that's signing with us next week. He only has one employee himself. He's in his 60s. He's
I have an insurance guy. He's like one person, but he's been hacked twice already. So
yeah. So this gentleman, when I said to him, look, our package requires, we put cybersecurity tools in our flat rate monthly package.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, it's $135 a month for your one computer with all the cyber tools. And I went through it all with him. And at first he was like, wow, $135 a month for one person. And we don't usually deal with people that are that small, but it's such a low, it's simple for us. There's really no work to do for him. But I told him, we require you to put the cyber tools in. We won't work with you if you don't pick a package with cyber tools. And he was like, I'm only one person. I go, yeah, but they may not get you for something, but they're going to get your entire address book. They're going to get, maybe they'll get into your bank account. And so they would get you because he's a hedge fund. He's a family office.
Mm-hmm.
Not a hedge fund, a family office.
Yeah.
Anyway, nobody's too small. And to your point about quantum computing and going after encryption, and anybody watching this might be like, what the hell is that? And why do I care? You care because
once they break it once, it's dead.
They're coming at your MFA. They're going to get through. They're going to get you. And you're not too small. And it doesn't mean you're not too big either. It doesn't matter what size you are. They're going to come get you.
Right.
So what should everybody do? Is there something different about 24, 23, 22 versus 25?
I was thinking about this the other day because I was starting to write an article about like what you should do to start out your 2025 security mindset.
Yeah.
And it goes back to something we talked about. In January, if you haven't done it or if it's been a while, you should get an IT assessment and a cybersecurity audit.
Wow, look at that. Is that crazy how that we had that handy?
You need to know where you stand. If you don't know where you stand, you don't know what to go after.
You need you need to know your current state. You need to know where the vulnerabilities are, where somebody can really get into your systems.
We were doing one recently, and we found that a client had some email protection that they didn't even know about, that they had forgotten about, that another MSP had been charging them for like 10 years on their credit card, and it was just just by doing a quick assessment. But they weren't getting any alerts for it or anything because the MSP had forgotten about them. Yeah,
and they were just paying for it every month. At the bottom of the screen where this risk assessment, where this link is, you should do it. It's free. Matt and I put this together, and it's really in depth, and it gives you really reliable results as long as you answer the questions honestly. Really be truthful about your current state, and put the answers in there accurately. It gives you exactly what you should do. Any place where you have a deficiency, it tells you exactly what to do. You could come to us and we could help you, but it doesn't matter. If you have somebody else, if you take this assessment and you say, hey, look, this is where we stand. Can you help us out here? They're going to help you, but you have to know where you stand.
Right. Yeah. If you don't do anything in January, that's the thing that you should start with.
Why? Because it's 100% guarantee you're going to have a breach.
Mm-hmm.
I love that one.
Yeah,
it's true.
Well, they always say it's not a matter of if. So there are two kinds of companies. Those don't know who they've been breached, and those don't know they've already been breached, or those that have been breached and those that don't
know they've been breached.
Yeah,
yeah. It's and then there's those who have been breached 4 times and still don't want to put any tools in place. Maybe that's the third kind of company.
Right.
That's there's the ones that are that. You know what? And those are the people who are just straight up arrogant about the fact that somehow, some way, they're excluded from like somehow they're going to be excluded.
Yeah.
It is a form of, to me, it's like a form of arrogance. Like, no, it's not going to happen to me. It is going to happen to you. You got to stop with this. It's going to happen to you. It probably has already.
And the case that I like to make is, threat actors only have to be right one time. We have to be right all the time. So it's like, let's not give them more ammunition to, have that one time to be right to get into something.
Well, Matt, somebody brought something to my attention today, and let me see. I think we might have to change our thumbnail. Hold on, let me pull this up. I think it says 2024 on it. Let's see, somebody sent me a picture of it. Yeah, what does this say? Join us live on December 31st. I don't even know. I'm gonna put that in there. We have to change our thumbnail, though. It's time to do our thumbnail.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, we need a better one. We got to brighten it up. We're gonna change the colors. We're gonna make it new for 2025.
Cool. So 2025 should be an interesting year. So,
who's this young looking guy on the side there, by the way? On not me, the other guy.
Oh, that's my picture from like years ago. I got to get a new picture at some point. That's back when I was still young and had energy.
But hang on, do I look much different? Wait.
Yeah, you look a little bit different.
I look a little older. Yeah.
Yeah, you look a little younger there in that picture.
Yeah, we both were. Wow, look at that.
You know,
I turned 52, man.
Who, you?
A week ago, yeah, 2 weeks ago.
I turned 50 in April, so.
God damn.
Not sure if I'm looking forward to it or not, but it is what it is.
Listen, this is the best 5-year run we're gonna have. 50 to 55. Your 50s are the best. We've got the most wisdom. Well, we've got more wisdom than we had. We've learned a lot, and because of the lessons we've learned and the mistakes we've made and mistakes other people have made, and we're able to take that and share it with other people. This is really a really valuable time in our life to help other people.
Yep.
You know, that's a great way to end it.
And you have young kids, but I have a granddaughter now, and it's like one of the greatest things ever. But your kids
I was gonna say I can imagine, but I'm not really interested in imagining that for at least another 15 years.
Yeah. You want to wait.
Because my oldest daughter's 16. That wouldn't be a good thing if I had a grandkid.
No.
But yeah, I have 2 girls, so it'll be my chance to have a boy this time around. If one of them can put the stem on the apple, we're in good shape.
No, I have a granddaughter, and she knows that she is the center of attention. She's 2 now, and boy, is she the center of attention.
I bet.
And she knows it.
That's okay. All right, my friend, this is it.
Yep.
Happy New Year. Tomorrow's New Year's Eve. Stay off the road.
We'll talk to you next year. I don't go out.
I'll talk to you next year. Oh, by the way, I'll talk to you in about an hour because I want to double check the results of our internal pen test that we're doing for our data center.
Okay.
So I'll check with you later. I know you're working on that. Somebody just joined at the end of the show. I just saw another pop up. Hey, thanks for joining. See you later. All right, Matt. We'll talk to you later.
All right.
Be good.
Have a good one.